something that we're excited about. You'll learn more about this in class next week. But Pictory is a tool, an AI tool that we love a lot. And Pictory has announced its screen record. And if anybody has used Loom before, they have a feature that's similar to Loom. And that's where you can do screen recordings of the different things that when you're doing a demonstration, showing somebody how to do something, maybe an SOP. And they have a smart recording now where it removes pauses, filler words, and it takes out those awkward bits automatically, which is really exciting because then you have a more polished looking video at the end. A lot of people publish Loom videos as customer support for the products that they have, and demonstrations for SaaS tools. And now we can have this option where the AI edits it, makes it look nicer, and then you can publish it. So it's similar, but Pictory is a tool that we've been using for around 2 years now, for a lot of different video purposes. And to me, this was a really exciting one because we use Loom a lot. Now we might be able to use Pictory for this. And, when AI first came out, it was an explosion of all these different tools. And now some of our favorite tools, we're able to just stick with them and have our tech stack decrease. And hopefully we'll have a decreasing tech stack this year as more tools have these other features integrated into them. So we'll see who the winners and losers are going to be this year. I think it's going to be a big year for these sort of things. CES is on in Vegas, and Samsung has gone all in on AI. We haven't tested it, so we don't know how great it is, but they are turning TVs into smart TVs, even smarter. And they're calling it personalized companions with vision AI integrated across all of their new models. And this will give like live on-screen info. Some of the things that have been happening in fitness is where your body can be analyzed with AI and you can get live feedback on how you're lifting, what your form is like. And so Samsung can play in this space. I think it'll be interesting to see. And even like generative wallpaper, which makes your screen have art that works in your space because it's looking in your space and seeing what looks good. This is all a bunch of TBD, and we'll see how it actually works in real life. But a lot of the things at CES are pretty cool that they're showing, and everybody's all in on AI. Now at our house, we have not had a TV in more than 10 years. It's probably close to 14 years we haven't had a TV in our house. We do have some devices and watch Netflix and some of those things, but these would be compelling reasons for me to have a TV. If it can act as, an AI companion in the house. And some people think it's creepy still, but a lot of people use Alexa and Google Home products. And then there's more about robotics, and the price of robotics have come down a lot. And there are things like robotic roofers for $30,000, robotic vacuums that are more autonomous, and even more autonomous AI-powered home energy management systems. There's an article that talks more about that you can click off to in the newsletter. The CES is full on AI everything. And then Amazon may be buying Lyft. Lyft has had some financial issues, and Amazon wants to get more into autonomous driving. And so they're looking at acquiring Lyft. And again, something we're keeping an eye on because all the big tech players have relationships with autonomous driving companies, whether they've acquired them or their technology is powering them. And Amazon seems to want to stay in this game. So we'll see what they do with Lyft. And then tools we use this week, PromeAI is something we didn't show you yesterday, And Maricar could show you a little bit more in Chrome today. It's really fun. It turns sketches into photos and also videos. And it does a bunch of other things, but that's one of its unique features is you could just have a pencil sketch and stick figures, and it will turn it into art. So that's a fun AI image tool. And then Pictory, which we talked about for videos. And then Echo Jockey, which is used to find and pitch and get booked on podcasts. And they gave us a coupon code for anybody who wants to subscribe to Echo Jockey. So if you want to get booked on podcasts, get your get Ben booked on more podcasts. A tool like Echo Jockey could help with that. And that is summary of the news this week. And we wanted to show you a little bit more on images and AI that we didn't get to yesterday. So Andrea is here with her Photoshop chops to show things like generative fill that you can do with Photoshop. And it's pretty amazing to create high quality images and in all different formats for a lot of different uses. And then Maricar, if you want to show Chrome, we can show you some fun drawing to animation and images that is something you might want to play with at home, or you could use it at work too. But I think that's just that for us, it's a fun one. And then if we have time to get to it, there's an audio AI tool, and it is called Suno. And there's an app too, and you can make a song about almost anything, and you can make it in any genre that you want. The amount of genres they have on there are so many I've never heard of before. Like they have Indian alternative country as a category, as in Indian. um, they have so many different categories of music, and you can make amazing songs. Um, And so I was playing with that this morning, or in my meeting with Jeff, Andrea, we were going through some of the songs and some of the fun music on Suno. So if we get to that, but first of all, we can go to Andrea to show some Photoshop AI capabilities, and then to Maricar for Chrome.
Sounds good.
All
I'm
right.
going to share my screen. So actually, let me just talk for a minute. Did you guys go over Firefly during class? Yes. Okay, great. So in Firefly is amazing. That's also from Adobe and it's free and it does some really great stuff, which you probably saw yesterday. But inside of Photoshop, there's even more you can do. And that's what I'm going to show you now. It's also, you can edit more and layers and all those things, which you can't do in Firefly. But Firefly does a pretty good job of like coming up with some images for you on the free side. Some of the examples I wanted to show you is this is an image that we use for one of our websites. But a lot of times when you are building a website, you need those horizontal images, right? And say you only have a headshot, or in this case, this person over like a square, there is no extra area and you need to fill that. That's what this is really good for. And it's so simple. So I just have my image there. All I have to do is select this marquee tool. I just grab the area that I want it to fill and just a little bit of the area it should learn from. From there, all you do is hit generative fill and it will give you, I believe, stop, 3 options to choose from, which I will show you. And so you'll see over here under variations that it's coming up with some options. And what I really love is that it does it as a layer. So it doesn't change your original image. So here's the first one. So you could totally put this in a whole horizontal line now on your website. Here's another version, like if you wanted to go light to dark, and then here's another one. I mean, that looks like it's part of the picture. It just created that based on what the information in the background. So I'd probably use this one because even has some of this matching glowing. I guess it depends. If there was some words I needed to put over there, maybe I'd go with the darker if I was using white, or it all depends. But that gives you a really quick way of creating additional area on your image. So otherwise I would have had to like crop her out completely and then put a whole new background behind her, which would have taken much longer than the 3 seconds, really. I'll show you another example. This is a picture of an avatar of Marikar. And on this one, I'm going to expand it on the bottom and the top to make it more vertical. And so we'll get some options here. And again, I really love how it makes it its own layer. So you're never actually changing the original image. So here's one option. Here's another. And then here's this one. I like that one. We'll stay with that one. And I need to fill in this top too. So you can do more than one fill on a layer. Use the same methods and they're all their own layer. And you do have some control. You could prompt it and tell it what to put in, and I'll show you some examples. That one looks really good, actually. I'm always surprised when they come up to see them fit together so well. So that one's really nice too. Like if you didn't want any focus up there, took out that window. And here's another one that just made it even super taller library. And there we go. We've created now a vertical image that used to be just this, all from using just that marquee tool, which is pretty amazing. There are other things you can do. Like if we want to put, you can just select an area and do a generative fill and say things like, add a plant and see what happens. You probably want to give it better prompting than I'm doing right now, but just for an example, I could have said a tall plant or, a plant on the desk or something. So that's what it's doing, is sort of making that one on the desk. Actually, no, it's the layer is in the right spot. So there's a plant. Here's another plant, which of course it doesn't look right because I didn't really give it parameters, but you get the idea. So you can add to your pictures as well. I do have some other examples of that. Let me just open those up real quick. Oh, I know a good example.
Something that we touched on yesterday is the more that you can specify the style of photography, the depth, the lighting, the better results you'll get. And so like Andrea's just playing with it now, but like she said, you could ask for a certain fern or palm and give it a height and, give it a lot more detail. And Photoshop is really good at giving you what you ask for.
So you could create scenes, like I've done this with a lot of these, or this particular client created rugs. So we would create different scenes. Like this chair right here is, I know it's AI generated because I made this one. But in this case, see, I added a book. So the book is now laying on the floor. There was one outside where I added like some sunglasses and a drink, or, whatever you come up with. And here is that, which I like that one better than the first one. And then here's one with the blanket, which is what I originally asked for. So like it really just depends on what you're trying to create. But what I like about this is it made it actually fit into the picture. It didn't, these don't look like they're just like in the old cartoons when someone would run up to a tree and pick up the phone that was really the root of the tree, and that root would look different than the rest. So you knew that root was going to have some sort of action to it. And in this case, it just blends in with the rest. So it's a really great way, especially if you're styling products or you need to change, you know, you need this chair to be modern and black and it's just endless on what you can do. And again, what I really like is the fact that it doesn't do anything to the picture. It's just another layer. So you could come in here to this layer and even change things on it, or you can go back to your original photo and do things there too, and it won't affect one another unless you were to merge them. So those are some really good examples. I really like how this one turned out, Marikar. You'll have to use this one.
Yeah.
And especially for website building, I'm always needing to create this extended side so that people's heads aren't getting cut off, or, you know, you can make it taller, you can make it wider, whatever you need. But yeah, it's a really great tool. And that's Photoshop.
Thank you, Andrea. Does anybody have any
Welcome.
comments on or questions about that? No? Okay. Prome. Let's go into Prome. Has anybody heard of Prome before?
So here's Chrome. So you can do sketch rendering. It has also an image generator if you want consistent rendering. It has HD upscaler. You can erase and replace. You can do outpainting. It has a like a 10 credits for free user. So here's the thing that I've done. You can do is first if you want to upload an image, for example, this one. And then here's in this box you can put the prompt you wanted. For example, I wanted please um give it give some colors. Let's try to you can choose what model if you want a to you want to it more to be more comprehensive. Let's do the VG. And here's the style you want to send modes. So let's try to generate.
I'm always so amazed every time we use one of these tools that it's able to do this. And, sometimes it could be a little off, but like these are really great. I mean, unless you're an architect or something who knows that this can't stick out this far, or, those kind of things, like for novices or just simple uses, this is pretty amazing.
Yeah. Here's some the result, but here's the result earlier that I used the version 2, this one. And if you already have this one, you can also edit it if you wanted to. You
Oh,
can
that's
upscale.
nice.
Yeah, and you can also do erase or replace or outpaint it if you wanted to.
Is
Let's
that
try
the
to,
house we're gonna build, Markar?
yeah, maybe in the future.
Mm-hmm.
The AI house. We have to build one made with AI.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so you can crop or you can move it if you wanted to. And you can put the prompt and if you want to do it. So um, if you want to also to adjust the brightness or not. So do you have any question about Chrome? But I think it also has upscaler. And if you want to do the replace or delete, and here's are the samples of other people that in PromeAI.
And I've only played with this one a couple times and I think it's really cool. I think on this one, like they do on Firefly, that you can see the prompts behind the pictures. Is that true, Marikar? Oh, that's what they
Yeah.
use. So woman standing next to sports car. Oh, and there you can remix. So maybe you really like this image, but you don't want to copy it, and then you use that to remix it. Oh, interesting. So they even put the markings that purple blob is where they wanted the person to stand. That's cool.
Yeah. And you can also describe the object you wanted to
And in
for
that
them.
case, they uploaded the object. So you could be like Markar, a picture of you in there,
Yeah.
and they'll put you next to that car. So there you go. You've just like created a whole scene, not just AI people.
Yeah. Let's try it with this one. Let's try to generate it.
Markar, was that 10 credits per week or 10 credits per month?
I think this 10 credit for um per month.
Okay.
That's the free account, right?
Yeah, this is the free
Hmm.
account. And I think 10 credits it's you have a lot because when you generate one image it's point 0.1, and if you like this one, if you can see here we generate 3 images, so it's point 0.3 per image, it's
Oh,
point 0.1.
so it's not even a whole coin or credit or whatever they're calling it each time. Yeah, I'm excited to see what this one does. I think that's really cool that you can take an object, upload your picture of it, and then place it
Yeah.
wherever you want on the scene.
Yeah, does anybody have a picture they want to have Marikar do this with? Or that you want to try out while we're on?
Oh, here's the this one is epic, but here's it.
Oh, cool.
uh I think I upload the image um that the woman was not so clear. That's why it's not so like it's not
Doesn't look
it's
bad though.
yeah.
Can you
And
put
they,
a picture of yourself in there?
Oh yeah. Next one. Oh
In some of these different image ones, you can use your own face or your own pictures. And one of the times it was me speaking to an audience and we were trying to get the speaker as me. Well, then it turned the whole audience's faces into my face, but some were male, some were female, or different ethnicities, but it was my face with it. It was really weird.
I forgot about that. That was a long time ago, to be fair, though, like in the
Yeah.
beginning of image generation. But yeah, that's
When I
really
had,
cool. The sample you're showing there, Marika.
yeah.
yeah. Mm.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Marikar.
That's so cool.
I really like how it just like with Photoshop makes it look like the two pictures go together. So a lot of times, if you have to Photoshop someone in a picture or something like that, you could tell because it's almost never the same lighting unless they've done it in a studio setting for both pictures. So one could be more warm or one could be more cold, and you can't ever quite get that match. But in this case, they do that for you.
And it's pretty user friendly too. I know I mean, I've been an Adobe fan forever because I did graphic design in school, and so I've had Photoshop and all of those since the very beginning, and it takes it really does take an expert to get to know how to use all the tools properly. And with a lot of these AI tools like Chrome, you don't have to have that expertise and you can make amazing images.
Yeah. Let me try to.
Billy,
You
did you have
have,
any? Oh,
oh,
sorry,
go
I
ahead.
saw Billy on muted, so I didn't know if you had any questions or comments on that.
No, I was just unmuting as far as the credits were concerned, so I totally forgot to mute myself again.
Oh, you're
That's
fine.
okay. You're fine.
Here is Suno. And this one actually to me looks a lot like Spotify or something, and probably because it's a music sort of platform. So what I did here, you could do instrumental or you can not. I just asked it an uplifting song about learning AI tools and what you can do with them. So it says we get 10 free V4 songs remaining because this is just a free account. And we'll create. It's kind of fun. Like if you wanted to do a Phoenix TS song, or, you could put in there, if you had a mission statement or something that as a company you all said all the time as a song, you could totally do that. Rise of the Machines. That's funny. So it takes a little while. So while that's processing, I'll come back here to the home screen because it will show you some different ones that other people have created, like the matzo ballers. Oh, it's only on my headphones right now, so I can't share the sound. But if you go here, you'll be able to see that. And I think over here on the right, you'll see when it was created, the types of styles and instruments this person put in. I bossed with the gingerbread. And then the verses of the song. So I think you have the choice, probably if paid or free account, if you want to make it private or share it with everyone, of course. And then you can see what other people have done, which if there's holiday in here. Yeah, it's just kind of another fun little thing. Let me switch my audio or share this. I'm going to use this and see if you can hear. Here, share computer sound. Darn it. Okay, let's try Rise of the Machines.
Woke up with a spark in my eye, turned on the screen to give it a try. The future's calling, can't you see? AI tools are the key. Typing commands into the void, building wonders, nothing destroyed. Endless options within reach. Code these dreams, teach and preach.
Pretty cool. If I actually click into this, it will show me all the lyrics, and then you could go in here and you could, make changes and things like that. So I'm not sure how many people would have a use for this, but it's fun. So that's the use of it, right?
I think that's the same application that you'd see on some of the reels that guys are using.
Mm,
Is it? No, it's
Could
not,
be.
or it is.
Well,
It,
you could make a reel from this.
Yeah.
You could also clearly make songs from it to use with your reel. So then it's showing you have original
yeah,
music.
there's been some hilarious ones that I've listened to recently. So
Oh, really?
yeah.
We could see
please
what this,
do share with us.
let's see what this other one is.
Typing commands into the void, building wonders nothing destroyed. Endless options within reach, code these dreams teach and preach. Learning AI is a brand new game, change the world, nothing stays the same. From data streams to patterns unseen, we can create the ultimate machine.
I like that. The chorus is good. So that's Suno, which, I mean, if you wanted to create original audio for a set of reels, or even we could use this and put it in the beginning of our YouTube videos, or you could I don't know, use it in a presentation, or play it at the beginning of your Zoom while everybody's in the waiting room, or, there's so many use cases for this. But it also is just really fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
again, you could give it more prompting in parameters, but in the case of these examples, I usually try to give the least amount of a prompt so you can see the base level. It's almost like this, what I'm showing you is worst case scenario. You know how much better it could be if you were more specific.
So you refined your
Mhm.
specificity. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Suno. And I'm sure there's, I guess the exponentially it's more new tools all the time than it was in the beginning, but there still are new tools all the time, and the tools are changing. So we
Yeah,
try to go back to the ones even that we've used before and see how they're doing, because even that, couldn't do this one week, but now it can do it.
yeah, and Suno when it first came out was definitely not this good, and now it's pretty amazing. And it kind of makes me think about the AI audio for Hey Gen, because if you listen to the songs, there's inflection points, there are pauses, and it sounds very human and not robotic.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking about this today, like if we recorded ourselves singing in the Hey Gen training videos, if we would get better results than recording ourselves talking.
Yeah.
I'm curious about that, and I'm curious like why the singing audio is so much better than the speaking audio. I mean, it's a small gap now. It was a really big gap. It's a relatively small gap, but it's still a gap that
Yeah.
in the speaking audio, it doesn't do as good of a job in pauses and inflection points.
Yeah, I think because music kind of takes the communication in its own direction, regardless of whether you like it or not. And if we're talking about folks that we're looking at AI speaking, we kind of have a general idea, if you've been around, on how to kind of read people's, not only their body language, but the things that they say as well. So that might be why we can pick out that disconnect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting though, because in this case, yes, it's words, but they also have notes to follow, which is what leads it up and down, and the stopping and the pauses. All that is built into music. So that's the difference. So if there's codes to put into words on a speaking one that they could figure out or mark, we probably could do that.
Yeah,
But most people
some.
aren't going to want to take the time to like apply every one of your words, make this one here and this one here and this one here. And so.
Yeah, and they do, like in the audio ones, we can edit and you can put spaces and dashes and different things to change the tonality in the speaking ones. But this is where I'm curious, like if we recorded a singing one, or is there something missing in the speaking technology on the back end, that singing technology, because of the notes and because of how it's done, is just better? Like how could we improve the speaking technology? Because we are, for our company, we're going to use speaking more than singing. Because we're not going to sing in our training videos. We could have a song for every training video. That would be hilarious and, interesting. Probably would get tiring after a bit. We could try putting some AI training videos and songs in there.
It is interesting, though. I'm glad you brought that up, Nicole, because it is so much better. And,
Hmm.
it's the notes and the bars and the beats and the all of that that make it better. Um, so what is that in the speaking world that they could take from this?
Yeah. And maybe this is where I was thinking that I might like try singing some Christmas songs or something like that. Just try singing some things to train my Hey Gen avatar better.
Mm,
Hmm.
interesting. That would be a good experiment.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll work or not, and something worth trying. Can't hurt. It could be slightly embarrassing, and I'd be doing it by myself in front of my computer.
Exactly. And you could erase it on HeyGen later. So,
Yes. Yeah, but if it makes the training better, why not try it?
yeah, because I feel like even when I on the language, and again, we're complaining at the level it's at now, which is pretty amazing that it can match our mouth to even what we feed it in a script and all of that. It's just like now, okay, let's get it better and better. But it's when I record something, and I know I'm not a person that goes really high up or really high down. I'm pretty even toned. I know that. But like there are things or ways that I say certain things, or like I don't talk in a monotone voice all the time, but it still feels that way when it comes out on the like for instance, Hey Jen. Um so it's getting there, I think. It's getting better and better, but you know, it's like we don't want them to take over, yet we want them to do more things. Where's the balance?
Mm-hmm. Marikar dropped the picture. Marikar, do you want to do a screen share so we can all see it a bit bigger? Because her picture rendered. And it looks pretty cool. You're on mute too, Marikar. Just
Okay, wait. I'll try to find it because I think I will do it and it here. Here's it.
There you are.
Yeah.
so
And
cute.
Mm-hmm.
actually it's just a half until here, but look what he did. He adds because it's like until this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the image is until my it caught my legs, but it gave me some legs.
He
Yeah.
gave you legs and feet, a little
Yeah,
disproportionate, but like that's not bad.
I gotta take one of
yeah.
these and use my wife's picture because she's 4'11", and so she would finally be tall. And
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Or in a family picture, I can use it if one of my sibling is missing. I'll just edit him on the side.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try it and
Like,
then send later on the community.
yeah, that'd be
oh,
good.
Yeah, that would be because we missed Christmas at my sister's and everybody has matching pajamas. We're getting our pajamas late because my niece was sick, so we didn't go over. But that just made me think we could take a picture with our matching pajamas on and put them in the family picture easily. I mean, yes, you can do that stuff in Photoshop, but it's kind of easier in one of these if you're not a Photoshop wizard.
It's very easy to use.
Yeah.
And you can also retouch it, or if you want to change, like for this one, if you want to change the color of the background, or like this one, if you use a different instead of ice cream, you use clouds, or if you want to recolor it, you can do it.
Cool.
Turn to- yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. Well, there are some tools for you to play with. We touched on Photoshop, Chrome, and Suno today. And I think we can end a little bit early unless anybody has specific questions about anything AI that you're working on, and want to address beyond these. But we wanted to show you these tools and how we use them, because we didn't have time for that in our last session. And they're super fun to play with and really easy to use. Well, Photoshop's a little bit harder, but if you want to have that more professional image and have it be more specific, Photoshop has been keeping up with the AI trends, and they are integrating everything into it. Yeah,